incredible. The French would say incroyable. It's a bit Christian, isn't it? He's not Christian. Yeah.
Have you anything to say about the Norsemen of Norway and their battle against the southern rise of Catholicism and the darkness from the south?
Long may they defeat the motherfuckers. Norsemen. Do you know that the ancient Vikings, the Norsemen, he knows these people from Norway, Sweden, Denmark, and actually some of us English, not me, but some of the Northerners are Norse blood, actually.
Not you?
No, there's no Viking in me.
You've got the blue eyes.
Yes, but I am the new master race that likes the black man. We are making progress for the black man, yeah? In Deutsch. And the thing is this, right? The Norsemen used to write their poetry and artwork on their longboats, and they sang the same songs as the Egyptians. Because when they sailed around our country into the Mediterranean, they did. The Norsemen landed on what is today North Africa, Algeria, Libya, Egypt. They met the pharaohs and the Egyptians, and they revered these great African warlords and said, fuck the Arabs, send them back to Mecca. That's true. No, real history. Real history. Check out Graham Hancock on Fingerprints of the Gods. A brilliant book which you can even buy in our country in a charity shop for £5, and it's better than any Bible because it documents the archaeology of humanity, not just from our country or Northern Europe or North Africa, but how all our ancestors were sailors. I'm talking puff here, but all of us sailed the 7 seas. Even his lot. Although the Arabs, I'll tell you about the Arabs, right? You know why the Arabs got their asses kicked? Because whilst they were praying to Allah, the Romans moved in and fucking killed them.
How about the Phoenicians?
What's the name of that book? What's the name of that book you said just then?
Fingerprints of the Gods by Graham Hancock. All the knowledge is there. And I read this years ago because there's no archaeological evidence for Israel. Get that? Never existed. The Zionists actually dug up the Sinai Desert between 1947 and 1967. Did they find any buildings? Did they find any skeletons? Did they find any documents?
No.
Did they find any statues? Did they find any military equipment? Nothing but sand.
You have to go to Saudi, you won't find a mountain.
Hey, that's a lie. If that was the truth, why can't we visualise ancient Egypt? We can visualise ancient Israel. Ancient Israel. Israel is Egyptian. Israel. ISIS, not the terrorists. ISIS is the goddess of pagan Egypt. Ra is the man god of Egypt. Mr. Mubarak's country. Yes. Don't laugh. Jehovah's going to kick your ass. And Al is the generic term for God, Jehovah Allah, in Arabic and our language.
That's right.
And that's a fact.
Hey, how does the name...
Israel. ISIS is the female, the women.
No.
It's all on the internet.
But Israel is English
so it
word.
must be true. No, Israel.
It's not the name of... It's not Hebrew.
Hebrew's an invented
Because he
language.
doesn't believe in prophet. That's why.
English is an invented language.
Well, it is. Obviously, we weren't around when Muhammad was sunning his ass in the Saudi desert, were we? We didn't exist. So how can we be saved according to the Holy Quran?
How do you prove Israel is Egypt? You can't prove it.
Because I can.
You can't.
Look, the archaeology, we can all visualise the pyramids. We can all visualise the Parthenon in ancient Greece. We've all visualised, you know, the Roman amphitheatre. London was Roman. It's a Roman word in our language. I'm from Leicester, a Roman military fort. Where's the evidence for Israel?
Yeah.
Outside the Holy Book? Where's the evidence of archaeology of Israel? I just mentioned that the Zionists dug up the Sinai Desert and found nothing.
Oh mate, you're losing your audience.
Good, I'm telling the truth.
We're all Israelis.
Israel, as my Scots friend, he's more mentally ill than I'll ever be. He says, it's a state of consciousness. You can all be Israel and live in peace with your fellow man and woman. It's simple.
Can we be Jewish though?
Well, it's too expensive to be Jewish. You go to North London.
How do you know I'm not Jewish?
A wild guess.
Well, I haven't finished yet. Let me finish, sir, please.
You're way out.
It's not your crate. This is Saudi Arabian oil.
He's stolen it off.
Relax. Frankie goes to Hollywood. Remember that? A bit before your time.
I think you're losing focus, Nick. Come on.
In that hat, I'd lose my dick looking at you. You look like a queer Frenchman. Yeah.
Aren't they all?
I think it's quite fake.
fetching.
Yeah, I think it's quite.
They got their asses kicked in 1940 and my father was from Germany.
I'm calling for revolution this
The
afternoon.
French are a nation of frogs.
You and Frank Spencer.
Yeah, yeah, some others do have them.
This is when you've got to have a revolution in the afternoon, but speakers call
The
it.
revolution means you go round and round and round and get
course.
nowhere. That's why they put the revolution in. The real revolution is listening to a Jew, a Christian, a Muslim talking gibberish every Sunday in our country.
Manchester City.
The real revolution is in here and here.
Do you want to go to toilet?
Yes.
Right, question.
Is that man?
Do you believe?
Great man, this lad.
Steve,
Do you believe that the Celtic,
the hat?
Nordic, Germanic, and Slavic people
Yeah, that. I'm half that.
of the northern
Manchester
side
City.
of Europe,
North.
That's Mr.
I'm north
Up
with a bit of a
to-
tan. Yeah.
up to the Ural Mountains.
Yeah, you're getting rare with the mountainous. Mountain people against fishmongers.
Right. Could they unite the white race?
No, because we're still dealing.
United already, aren't
Well, yeah, in a French kind of way.
Not in football.
But it's like the black man. Oh, here comes the Satan's chosen papist. You papist pig, get out of my meeting!
No,
This is Jesus, Catholic Jesus.
Yes,
The Father,
the
Jesus.
Son, and the
No,
Holy
Jesus.
Ghost.
I know, hardcore. He wants me to go on some godless mission in Panama. I'll deal drugs with the Colombian mafia before I bow to any papist. Have you been to Mexico, amigo? You should go, amigo. No Muslim in Mexico. We killed them all, man. This is Khomeini.
Take your
Mafia,
pills,
new
Nick.
Khomeini. New mafia. No, I'm the best mafia. Parla Italiano. You like Italian women?
God, he speaks so many languages.
Italian.
Spanish. He speaks Italian.
Hola.
It's amazing.
Be a
What
proper
languages
Englishman and
don't
learn
you
to
speak
speak
then?
Japanese. Konnichiwa.
Ah, you speak Japanese as
Of
well.
course, my friend from Japan.
Oh, he knows just hello, hi.
How much does that cost?
Hello.
Brother,
This is
brother, you.
Allah, Lord and Allah.
Brother, you.
See you.
A lot of London English don't learn anything.
God and dog.
Yeah, exactly. That's the French Jesus.
They know how to make fish and
Not
chips.
Allah. You don't begin. So yeah, we can't unite with this brown skin. What we need is an Apache to condemn you. Brown man speak with bad teeth. Brown man speak with bad teeth. So how are you, Mr. North?
I think it's time to finish now.
No. This is just terrible. Close it up. Close it up.
like the
Why
idea
is
of
it
bringing the
terrible?
box.
Entertainment.
Control quality. It's quite a nice idea.
I've always liked this. My ex-wife, she noted I'm always a bit
Get
messy.
shit, you just
I like
step
it
in,
like that.
You're making the box hurt.
Now, can you go to hell with all the Catholic Church now? You know, I'd rather become a Satanist and say Allah Akbar to every Catholic in my country and in Southern Europe and Orthodox Egypt.
Protestant versus Catholic.
Yeah, no contest. Bang! He's right. This is the spokesman for the great Louis Farrakhan. I'm not messing about.
We're going to dismember Russia.
Really? In your dreams.
Dismember Russia.
You told Vladimir that.
We were talking about, this is the white trash that should be taken out, right? Where are my black friends? This is white trash.
Yeah, Mediterranean values. Yes.
Yeah. You're not even Scottish,
You say
man.
he's a chav.
Yeah, you're not even a Glasgow Rangers fan, man. I was trying to answer my friend's question till you came in as a sinner.
Nick, your taxi's here.
No, it's our police are going to arrest you. Officer, there's a terrorist here in a French Revolutionary hat. Would you please arrest him?
Don't say that too loud, mate, 'cause you say the word terrorist in London and put the whole city on lockdown.
Lockdown. That's very American. You're now being taken over by America. This is not goddamn America, man. This is Texas. Jesus comes from Texas, and only Southern white boys go to heaven. Even the black man knows that, man. Thanks, Ted.
It's like trying to work out how to fight back against
Yeah, exactly. You can't fight it back against the best speaker in Hyde Park. You just learn. Even Mr. Morsi learned. Isn't that right? Yes. Muhammad's dead, Moses dead, Jesus dead. What else do you want to know? He's evil, Catholic.
Come on, Nick, wrap it up.
His hell is better than Muslim hell. Better than Muslim hell.
So how
3 into 1. So are we going to unite? Well, maybe. It's called race relations. Personally, I think it sucks. But I've got black friends
You're
and
so
white
good
friends.
for race relations, Nick.
Thank you.
You bring everyone together.
Yeah, and then I.
Yeah.
Talk about whiteness.
Well,
Celtic 1, Rangers 0.
that's the answer. Yeah. What about black power?
No, because
What happened to the Black Panthers?
Because,
You know, the 1968 Olympics.
officially on the White House website,
Well, listen to this.
Listen, gentlemen.
on the White
Listen
House
here, don't
website,
listen.
when you go to the census information and you come under the definition of white in America, the definition of a white person in America is a European, a North African, and a Middle Eastern. That's the official definition of a white person in
So
America.
it's the brown people who are evil.
But the definition for a white person in the British census
Is Irish.
is European only.
Yes.
So Middle Eastern people
Oh,
and North African people don't qualify as white
no, that's
here
obvious.
in Britain.
They're not indigenous to this land.
They ask them to do the robot, and if they can't do it, they say
Because you know when you go
So
to the
there's a
GP,
big
they
clash
ask you
there
if you're
between
like-
American values
America,
and British values.
the same.
Big clash. No,
stupid and we're clever.
there's a big clash.
Let me tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, it's very
So a
important,
Jewish
especially for your
person
children,
to be
right?
white in
The
America,
American
not here.
dream is actually an English dream. The man that created it was the great Thomas Paine, our Thomas Paine. And when Americans talk about the American dream, and if America wins, humanity wins, they're not talking America, man. They're not even talking Pennsylvania or California, man.
What do you mean
And they're
by
certainly
that?
not talking Saddam Hussein.
Hey, boss.
They're not talking.
William Wilberforce.
Yeah. He was a great man, but it took a long time to get black slavery finished. You want modern day slavery? It's called Oxford Street. Yeah, slavery is not a colour issue. Many of our ancestors in the 17th century and the 16th century were enslaved. That's why you find English and Celtic names in the West Indian cricket team, because they were white people who were shipped off as slaves from our country back in the day. On a ship. Because that's how our country was when it was Catholic.
Was it?
Yeah. You really need a donkey and a dentist. You really need, don't you? So, in the words of the great Irishman I've always enjoyed listening to, man died long ago, may your God go with you. Thank you for listening.
What's good for you?